They don't slam doors, they don't throw things. They don't scream, insult, or explode in rage. No, they do something far more terrifying. They manipulate in silence. And you never even notice it happening. At first, they seem calm, collected, emotionally stable. They let you talk, they listen, they make you feel heard. Safe. Understood. You start thinking, finally, someone who gets me. But slowly, their silence begins to change. Their gaze lingers a second too long when you speak your truth. Their expression subtly shifts when you disagree. You start adjusting yourself, not because they told you to, but because you fear their disapproval. And just like that, the control begins. You start overthinking everything. Was that comment too much? Should I have told them that? Why do I feel so guilty after saying no? Silent manipulators don't force, they suggest. They raise an eyebrow instead of a voice. They sigh instead of speak. And somehow you hear it louder than any scream. That's the power of psychological conditioning. You become the one who polices yourself, who walks on eggshells, who anticipates their moods like it's your job. And you convince yourself it's your fault when something feels wrong, because they never said it was. They just let their silence speak for them. And their silence always says, you disappointed me, you failed me, you let me down. But they never confirm it. So you're left wondering, doubting, spiraling. That's how they win. You see, true manipulators don't want to dominate you. They want you to dominate yourself on their behalf. It's efficient, it's subtle, it's nearly invisible. They make you feel like you're crazy for needing answers, for asking why they shut down, why they grew distant, why they no longer laugh at your jokes. And when you ask, they shrug. Nothing's wrong, but everything is. Their silence is a punishment, a weapon, a withdrawal of affection that teaches you. If you don't behave, love disappears. And you learn, you adapt, you conform, you apologize for things you didn't do, you avoid topics you care about. You shrink yourself to avoid that cold, suffocating silence. Because it's worse than any fight. It makes you feel invisible, like you don't exist, like you never mattered. But they still smile at you in public. They still hold your hand around others. And that confuses you even more. You tell yourself it's just a phase, that you're overreacting, that maybe you are too emotional. But deep down, your body knows. Your nervous system is always on edge. You feel it in the pit of your stomach, in the racing of your heart, in the tightening of your chest whenever they walk into the room. You're not safe, not emotionally, not mentally. And that's not love. That's control. You start losing your voice, your opinions, your confidence. You become a version of yourself you don't recognize. Quiet, cautious, careful, all the time. And the worst part? They still act like the calm one, the rational one, the good partner. Meanwhile, you look like the unstable one, the emotional one, the one who always has a problem. That's the trap. Silent manipulators operate in the shadows of your mind. They plant seeds of self-doubt and let them grow. They make you feel guilty for feeling anything at all. And when you finally snap, when you cry, shout, or beg for answers, they use that as proof. See? You're the problem. And you believe it. That's what makes it so dangerous. You start hiding your pain. You protect them from consequences. You lie to your friends telling them everything's fine. Because how do you explain that the person who never yells is the one destroying you? You don't. You just suffer quietly. Until one day, hopefully, something snaps. You read something, hear something, feel something deep in your gut that says this is not love. And from that moment on, you start seeing the patterns, the passive-aggressive comments, the emotional withdrawal, the gaslighting hidden in I never said that, the manipulation masked as concern. You start realizing I'm not crazy. I've been controlled, without a word, without a fight, with just silence. That's when the healing begins. When you reclaim your voice. When you start saying what you feel even if it makes them uncomfortable. When you stop shrinking, stop apologizing, stop seeking their approval. That's when you begin to break free. And it's not easy, because they'll guilt you, they'll play the victim, they'll act confused. Why are you acting like this? I've always supported you, but you know better now. You've seen the invisible strings. You've felt the suffocation, and you know what freedom feels like. It feels like breathing, like laughing without fear, like finally hearing your own voice again, like peace, real peace. Not the quiet that hides manipulation, but the silence that means safety. So if you're trapped in the hands of a silent manipulator, listen closely. You're not overreacting. You're awakening.